Hey everyone, Kyle here. Welcome back to the One-Time Close Construction Loan channel. Today we're talking about something that gets me fired up every single time: zero down VA construction loans and why Arkansas veterans are sleeping on this opportunity.
And I'm Travis. I was definitely sleeping on it until about 2 years ago. Now I'm living in it, literally. My custom-built home in Arkansas. Travis, man, I'm so glad you're here because your story is exactly what people need to hear. Before we dive in, though, if you're watching this and you're a veteran thinking about building custom, call us at 888-857-8041 right now. Don't wait. We've got solutions that'll blow your mind.
They really do. I was skeptical at first.
Let's talk about what zero down actually means, because this is where lenders get creative and not in a good way. Oh man, you're gonna love this. When I said zero down, I thought it meant zero down. Apparently not with most construction lenders. That's what one guy tried, but he wanted me to liquidate other assets to close and put up a huge contingency fee. He waited to just before closing to tell me that. I ran away from that closing so fast it'd make your head spin. That's not zero down in my book. Absolutely not. I'm glad my builder knew you guys and gave me your number. That's exactly what happened with me. You closed me with true zero down, and I brought $0 to closing. My only cost was the VA funding fee, which we rolled into the loan. And that funding fee, people need to understand, it's not a cost you pay up front. It's financed into your loan. For a veteran with a 10% disability rating or higher, you don't even pay that. I had a 20% disability rating, so mine was waived entirely. Beautiful. So Travis literally brought $0 to closing. He financed land, construction, permanent mortgage, closing costs, construction interest, everything. All with one closing, zero down payment. That's legitimate zero down, and it's why you need to work with specialists like Kyle and his team. The peace of mind that gave me was insane. I was stressed about everything else. Builder selection, design decisions, inspection timelines. At least financing wasn't adding anxiety. That's the whole point. Financing shouldn't be your problem. It should be your solution. If you're tired of dealing with lenders treating you like a number, call 888-857-8041 today. We specialize in this. We do the work. Okay, here's where construction loans get tricky, and most borrowers don't understand this until they're deep in the process. Dude, when they first explained this to me, I was like, wait, you're not requiring me to pay interest during construction? Right, so traditional construction loans, conventional or FHA, they work like this. You only pay interest on the amount drawn each month. You're making 2 payments at once. Oh man, I didn't think about that. Most people don't, which is insane. But here's what we do differently with VA construction loans. Your interest accrues during construction, but we don't require monthly payments per the VA. Instead, that interest gets rolled into your final loan balance. So I wasn't making payments during construction? Correct. Zero interest payments while your house was being built. When construction finished, your loan converted to a fixed-rate mortgage, and the interest that accrued got added to your principal. But here's the thing. You had 12 months of construction costs that you didn't have to pay interest on up front. That's thousands in cash flow you retained. I was able to handle inspections, punch list items, and little changes without sweating the finances. I wasn't juggling 2 mortgages. Exactly. That's the real VA construction loan benefit. And for those watching, this is why one-time close VA construction loans are superior. You're not paying while you build. Your interest gets folded in. Your cash stays available for family, emergencies, or project adjustments. I actually used some of that cash to upgrade my kitchen fixtures. With traditional financing, that would have been impossible. That's freedom. That's why I'm so fired up about this loan type. It genuinely serves veterans instead of extracting maximum fees. Call 888-857-8041 right now if you're ready to experience this yourself. Don't wait 6 months thinking about it. Your dream home is waiting. Travis, when was your, we found a problem moment? 7th week of construction. Soil test came back showing we needed deeper pilings than originally planned. My builder was like, that's a $12,000 change order. And what did you do? Honestly, I panicked for about 15 minutes. Then I called you guys. And what did we tell you? You said, Travis, we and the builder built a contingency reserve into your loan specifically for this. It's fine. Right, here's what most lenders do wrong. They tell you 0 down payment. And they don't mention that they're also requiring a 10% contingency fee that you bring to closing separately. So you think you're paying 0 down, but really you're paying $25,000 to $50,000 on a $250,000 to $500,000 build. That's insane. It absolutely is. It's a bait and switch, and borrowers don't realize it until they're in the middle of closing. What we do is we and the builder build the contingency into your loan. It's already funded. When change orders arise, and they will, we don't re-underwrite you. We don't charge new fees. We just use the contingency. And if I don't use it all, that's the beautiful part. Through what's called principal reduction, any unused contingency reduces your final loan amount. You end up with a smaller mortgage. You didn't pay for money you didn't need. I didn't use all of the contingency. My final loan was actually $8,000 less than the original estimate because of overages we didn't hit. And that's how it should work. You're not penalized for being responsible. You're rewarded. So when people ask, should I get a construction loan? I say yes. But you need the right construction loan. You need a one-time close. You need a contingency reserve built in. You need a lender like Kyle who specializes in this. Call 888-857-8041. We've got it all. Here's something that blows most people's minds. Your permanent mortgage rate. Oh, dude, this was wild. Walk people through what happened. Okay, so when we closed on the construction loan, interest rates were still up there. You guys let me float that until the house was finished. Rates actually dipped down and we got the lower rate. And most lenders would have said, sorry, you're locked at your rate and you can't change that. On top of that, they required another $10,000 in non-refundable extended lock fees on top of that contingency fee. That was just getting out of hand, right? But that's not what happened. When construction finished, you guys let me float to the current market rate free with no hassle. And that saved me tens of thousands over the life of the loan and cut my expected payment. That's right. See, traditional construction lenders force you to lock your permanent rate months before construction finishes. If you lock at one rate in January and rates drop to 1 or 2% by November, you're stuck. You missed the savings. That's brutal. It's brutal, and it benefits the lender. What we do instead, your one-time close loan automatically floats to the current market rate at completion. But here's your protection. You have a rate cap guarantee. If rates rise during construction, you don't pay more than your locked cap. If they fall, you get the benefit automatically. So I got the best of both worlds. Exactly. That rate reduction saved you tens of thousands over the life of your loan. It was wild. My final rate brought that down about $200 per month. And that's before principal reduction from your unused contingency. Travis got an incredible outcome because he worked with a lender like us who understand construction loans deeply and build veteran borrower benefits into the structure. I tell every veteran I meet about this now, don't settle for lenders guessing. Call the specialists. That's us. 888-857-8041. We don't guess. We do this every single day. We have the infrastructure, the expertise, and the direct lending capability to offer true one-time close VA construction loans with real benefits. Don't delay. Your dream home is waiting. Travis, you didn't have a builder lined up when you called us. Walk people through how we work together on that. Yeah, I had a vague idea of what I wanted, but I didn't know any builders. I was worried I'd pick some fly-by-night operation. And that's a legitimate concern. So here's what we explained to you. Not every builder can work with VA construction loans. The VA appraisal process requires your builder to have VA registration and most of all approved by us, the lender. Some lenders will lie and tell borrowers, no, registration or approval is not required anymore. Those lenders are steering you wrong. But that requirement exists for your protection, right? 100%. The VA registration and your lender approval means your builder has been vetted. They've demonstrated financial stability, experience, and good standing. When your VA appraiser evaluates the project, they need that builder registration number. They won't even accept the appraisal assignment without it. So lenders saying registration isn't required? They don't actually do VA construction loans, they're guessing. And when you hit the appraisal phase, suddenly there's a problem. And it's your project that's delayed, not theirs. This is why I'm begging people. Don't trust lenders for VA construction loan advice if they don't actually originate these loans in-house. We do it, we know the requirements, we have approved builders we work with regularly. You can use one of them or we can approve one you select. You guys presented me with 3 builders in my area, all registered and approved, all with track records. I picked the one I felt most confident in, and the build went smooth. That's the whole point. We eliminate friction, we reduce risk, we make it simple. Call 888-857-8041 and we'll walk you through builder selection, approval, and everything that follows. This is what we do. How long was my whole process from first call to moving in? You called us in March. When did you get your keys? April the next year. Just about 13 months start to finish. And that included 12 months of active construction, right? Yeah, the builder kept everything on schedule. We closed the construction loan in May, broke ground in June, and finished framing by August. Everything went pretty much on schedule. That's solid. For people watching, construction timelines vary based on complexity, weather, and builder efficiency. But with a good builder, a VA-approved builder, and proper financing structure, you're typically looking at 6 to 12 months from loan approval to move in. The financing never held us back. It was always ready when the builder needed it. That's because we fund on a draw schedule. Your builder hits a milestone, say foundation inspection. We get verification after an inspection, and we disperse funds. Next milestone comes up, same process. Wash, rinse, repeat. Your builder gets paid promptly, and your project keeps moving. And I never had to requalify or jump through hoops? Never. That's the one-time close advantage. You qualified once at the start. Your approval locked in. No surprise re-underwriting, no second closing, and added extra fees. No, we need more documentation at month 8. That peace of mind was huge. It should be. Building is stressful enough without financing surprises. If you're ready to start your timeline, call 888-857-8041 today. Let's get you pre-approved and moving. Let's break down actual numbers because people need to understand what a zero-down VA construction loan really costs. My build was $450,000 total. And how much did you bring to closing? Nothing, literally zero. The only cost associated with your VA loan was the VA funding fee, which we rolled into the loan if you hadn't been exempt. So your first month's payment included principal, interest, taxes, insurance, closing costs, and the amortized funding fee. But you didn't write a check up front. So what did your build cost you monthly during construction? Nothing, because interest was escrowed. Once you converted to the permanent mortgage, my payment included principal, interest, taxes, insurance, including the VA funding fee if you are not exempt for VA loans. Wait, I need to clarify, VA loans don't have mortgage insurance. You might have paid an upfront VA funding fee if you're not exempt, but no monthly PMI. Right, that's what I meant, just pity essentially. Exactly, so people need to understand, on a $450,000 build with zero down, Travis's monthly payment is all in. If he'd tried conventional financing, 5% down required, he'd need $20,000 cash, and his monthly payment would be more because you'd also have PMI. He saved $20,000 up front and paid minimal extra monthly. That's the VA advantage. Plus, I kept that $20,000 invested, liquid, or in my family's pocket rather than locked into a down payment. Exactly, that's financial flexibility. If you're ready to see how this works for your specific situation, call 888-857-8041. We'll walk numbers with you. Travis, tell people about the first lender who tried to mislead you. Okay, so this guy told me that zero down was possible, but that I needed to bring a contingency reserve fee of $30,000 to closing. He framed it as protecting my interest, but obviously it wasn't zero down. That's a scam. It's not aggressive scamming, but it's misleading. Zero down should mean zero down. He also said my builder didn't need VA registration, that those requirements were outdated. And you should have walked out right there. The VA appraisal process requires registration, period. If a lender tells you otherwise, they don't understand VA construction loans, and you shouldn't trust them. That's what I did. I walked. Unfortunately, it was right before closing. My wife was devastated, but I called you the next day, and it was shocking how little the other lender knew about VA construction loans. Smart, because later when you hit the appraisal phase, if your builder wasn't registered, the appraiser literally couldn't do the job. Your timeline stalls, your project sits, everyone's frustrated. So for people watching, if a lender tells you that builder registration isn't required, that's a big red flag. Huge red flag. Instead, call 888-857-8041. We'll explain exactly what's required and why. No confusion, no tricks, just experts. You want to know something crazy? My closing was painless. I showed up, signed documents, and walked out in 90 minutes. My builder even got an advance to get started right there at closing.
One-time close advantage, baby.
With traditional financing, I've done multiple closings buying other properties. You're sitting there for 3-4 hours reading document after document. This was so fast because we rolled everything. Lot purchase, construction disbursement authorization, permanent mortgage terms, rate guarantee, everything into a single closing document package. No redundancy, no re-signing the same facts twice. The closing attorney was even surprised. She said, "You're doing this differently than most construction loans." I was like, yeah, these guys know what they're doing. That's what happens when lenders actually specialize in VA construction loans instead of bolting them onto conventional mortgage operations. It's faster, it's smoother, it's cheaper. That's what you get when you call 888-857-8041 and work with us. We're not trying to be everything to everyone. We're the best at one-time close construction loans because we focus entirely on that. Last question. If you could go back and do this again, would you? Every single day. I wished we hadn't spent 2 months wasting time with that other lender. My dream was to own a custom home on my land in Arkansas. I'm living in it now. My wife loves it. My kids have a house designed exactly for our family. It was worth every minute of the process. Would you use us again? Without question. You guys handled everything. You answered questions. You didn't make me feel like a burden for asking. You explained things clearly. You delivered what you promised. That's exactly the standard we hold ourselves to. If you want that experience, call 888-857-8041 right now. Don't wait. Your custom Arkansas home is closer than you think, and will make the financing side effortless. Do it, seriously. Stop renting or living in something that doesn't fit your family. Build custom. It's worth it. Travis, thanks so much for sharing your story and your insights. Folks, if you got value from this conversation, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Tell us about your dream home. What would your custom build look like? And if you're serious about building, don't hesitate, call us. For more helpful videos on how we can help you achieve your dream home, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, put your questions below in the comment section. Don't forget to call us at 888-857-8041.